Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I was just recording another video and there was one section where I kind of went off tangent to provide an example for something, but I kind of got heated and it kind of turned into a rant and I decided to just make that section its own separate video. So welcome to said video. So basically I have noticed recently an influx of videos and creators who talk about overconsumption, consumerism, de-influencing, and inherently I don't see anything wrong with that. Everyone has freedom of speech. Everyone can talk about whatever they want. They can react to whatever they want. But the problem that I have with these types of videos is that I'm seeing that there is absolutely no accountability. There's no personal responsibility for the individual and their spending habits. And I think it's really unfair and disingenuous to blame these TikTok creators, to blame these videos for you not having financial discipline. Like, it's not the video's fault that you saw the video and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy that even though I can't afford it. Like, it just makes no sense to me. And one of the main examples that I had that kind of just had me going down the spiral is like, you want to jump off a bridge? Are you gonna jump? No, you're not gonna jump because why would you do that? You're gonna be like, no, you're crazy. Why would I jump off a bridge? I don't want to jump off a bridge. Just because I said, hey, you should jump off a bridge, it doesn't matter how amazing I make the experience sound. You're not going to jump off a bridge if you don't want to jump off a bridge. So if I come up to you and I'm like, hey, do you want to jump off this bridge? And you say yes, it's because you already wanted to jump off the bridge. It's not like I convinced you or I'm forcing you to jump off the bridge. Because I could sell you on it. I could be like, jumping off a bridge is an experience like no other. Like, you're not going to have this free-falling sensation from anywhere else. Yes, you could go skydiving. Yes, you could go base jumping, but those things are more expensive and they take a lot more time in preparation. You could just walk up to any bridge and jump off for free. You don't have to pay anything. It doesn't take any time. You just go and you jump. Like, I just made it sound so much better. You don't have to pay anything. It's literally free. So it's not like I'm asking you for money. I'm just like, hey, you want to go jump off this bridge? So if you heard that pitch, you might be like, oh yeah, you're right. In comparison to skydiving, jumping off a bridge is a lot cheaper and it is a lot quicker. But no, I'm still not going to do that because I don't want to jump off a bridge, right? The only example I could see someone actually wanting to jump off a bridge is if I were like, this is for a cause. Every person who jumps, we are going to pledge $100 to this organization, and your jump is going to make an actual difference in the lives of people who need this money, who need these supplies, who need these resources and support. Then I could see someone being like, oh, I'm familiar with this organization. I've always wanted to donate to them. Sure, I would love to jump off a bridge. You guys can pledge $20 in my name and I'll match that or whatever. See, that's something else where you didn't know about this opportunity before, but you saw this video, you saw this post, you saw this whatever, you were made aware of this opportunity, but since you are already looking to support this organization, you're going to be willing to jump off a bridge. So how does this apply to consumerism and overconsumption and de-influencing? If I'm on TikTok and I see a 30-second video of someone restocking their refrigerator and they have all these links for plastic organizers, ceramic bowls or whatever, I'm not gonna then buy everything in the video just because they're like, this is amazing, like you should really get this because you can organize your fridge and do that and that. And I am someone who loves to organize stuff. I love watching those videos because it's so satisfying to see a space come together and be so clean and tidy. I love that. I am the target audience for that. But even I am not going out of my way and buying all these things just because I saw it in a TikTok video. Like, that's ridiculous. So for people to say that these videos are so harmful or so bad because it's making people spend money they don't have, I don't believe that, because you have a choice. You don't have to spend the money. These videos is basically just the modern version of QVC. It's just the TikTok millennial Gen Z version of QVC. No one is saying, oh, QVC is so evil because they just run infomercials all day selling products that nobody needs. Like, sure, you could say that, but obviously they're still in business because they have a market of people who actually buy their products and use their products. It's not just people buying stuff for the hell of it. Sure, there are people who are definitely like that, but to discredit the entire thing because you personally have spent money you don't have because you saw this infomercial and they got you somehow. It's like, if you are so easily sold on words and marketing, then that just means that you're a very easily suggestible person, and that's not the video's fault. That's not the commercial's fault. And I'm not saying that to be mean or condescending, like, oh, you're so stupid, like, how could you fall for that? That's not what I'm trying to say. But, like, there's no responsibility in saying it's the video's fault that you spent this money you didn't have because the marketing was so good. Like, no one is forcing you to hand over your credit card. Like, you actually have to put that information in. And if you have it stored on your phone, that is also a decision. If you have like one-click payment or whatever, that is a decision you made to make it that easy and accessible for you to spend money. TikTok didn't do that for you. You did that. So it really irks me when I see those types of videos, because I do watch those videos. Like, obviously, again, I'm not someone who's just spending money all over the place. So like, I am a conscious consumer. So I am on both sides. Like, I watch the content that these videos are criticizing, but I also watch the videos criticizing them, because I'm like, yeah, you have a lot of good points. If you don't need these things, don't buy them. If you can't afford it, don't buy them. But I'm just like, yeah, isn't that obvious? If you don't have the money, don't spend the money. But then there's another layer where these people are literally profiting off of overconsumption just as much as the people making the restocking videos, because you're reacting to those restocking videos. So yes, you're not the ones buying the product and showing off all the stuff and dropping all the affiliate links, but you're making a 20 to 30 minute video bashing these videos and saying, look how bad this is, look how stupid that is, nobody needs all this stuff, this is ridiculous, they're trying to get people to spend their hard-earned money, like, that's so cruel, how could you do that? It's like, but you're profiting in the same way. Plus, you're also platforming those products and those videos, because I have seen some of those videos and there are things in those videos where I'm like, that's actually a really clever product. And if I was in the market to buy something like that, like if I had the money to buy those organization bins and containers, I would buy them. And now that I've seen them in your video, I'm aware of what the brand is. I'm aware of what the product is. So in the future, when I do want to buy that product, I'm going to go buy it because you put me onto it. So you're still contributing in the same way of those restockers, but because you're denouncing it and you're discrediting it and you're trying to de-influence people, somehow that's different. But you're literally profiting in the same way, because you're monetizing your videos. In some cases, people are taking sponsorships, not for other products, but like for a service. Like Delete Me is like a popular one I'm seeing recently, which is just taking your personal information off the internet. Sure, that's great. You're not like selling water bottles like Air Up or something. Sure, I get that. You're not feeding into consumerism in that way, but you're still profiting off of your viewers. Like, it's no different. And that's what really got me upset and got me heated, because if you're going to talk about consumerism and overconsumption and how corporations are just destroying society, whatever, I get that. But if you're literally a part of the system and you're profiting off of your audience in the same way, like, it's two sides of the same coin, and no one is taking responsibility for their own spending habits. And I know that because a lot of these creators will mention as like an aside that they used to be those people who were super into consumption, always buying stuff. Like, one of the creators, I'm not gonna say any names because it's really beside the point, this is like across the board where I'm seeing this, but one of the creators used to make like shopping content of like luxury goods, so like handbags and stuff like that. So in her video, she does talk about how she used to be one of those people who were going broke, trying to keep up this image and to show off these products, because it was her job at that point to, review these bags and to talk about their quality and the pricing and all that stuff. But she kind of fell into the trap where she was just spending money that she could not afford to spend. So now she makes these videos as like a cautionary tale of like, don't fall into the trap. You don't need these things. Don't buy these things. And I get it. But it's like, you're still missing the point that you're the one who made the choice to spend that money. Chanel did not come to your house and hold a gun to your head and be like, hey, go to our website and buy this this $2,000 handbag. Like, no one did that. That was your choice. So for you to make videos saying that, it's just despicable that people are like, influencers are making all this money off of you, watching their videos and clicking their links and doing this and that. It's like, okay, but that's the consumer's choice to do that. No one is forcing you to do that. Like, it doesn't matter how clever the marketing is, you still make the choice at the end of the day. And I don't say this to say like, oh, I'm just so much better than everyone and I'm so special that I don't fall for marketing gimmicks. Like, even me, like, if I see an ad read in a video and they're promoting a product that I would be interested, I will look it up to learn more about the company. But I'm not going to go in that same session and book my own order or whatever. I'm just not doing that, because one, I don't need it right now and I don't want it. And it's just not necessary. Like, yes, you can be curious about a product and look into it, but you don't have to spend the money if you don't want to or if you can't. And it just bothers me that there's no accountability for that. There's no personal responsibility. Like, personal finance is personal. And it's just so frustrating that people are in these situations, and like it's everybody. Like I'm in the same place too, which is why I was making this video specifically about like personal finance and income and all these different things. And for me, I can see the problems in my life and where I'm trying to improve and where I'm trying to pivot and redirection myself so that I could be in a better financial situation. But then for all these other people who are struggling and they can't find a job, they can't do this, they can't do that, I agree that like it sucks and it's hard and we have systemic issues that are contributing to these things. But when you take a look at yourself, what are you actually doing? You know, like you can't just give up and be like, oh, like it's the world's fault, like no one's hiring, I can't get a job. Okay, so what are you going to do about that? Are you going to start a business? Are you going to get a part-time job? Are you just going to get anything that you can in the meantime? Are you going to do DoorDash? Like there's so many things that you could be doing and people are just not doing anything. And I'm not saying that like, oh, it's your mindset. Like you have to have a growth mindset and not a scarcity mindset. That's not what I'm saying. Like there are people who are like that and that's a whole other conversation. You can't just positively think yourself out of poverty. I know that. But there are too many people who have all of these gripes about society and the economy and all this stuff, and you ask them what they're going to do about it, and it's crickets. There's no plan, there's no further thinking, there's no strategizing, and then you have people who just feed into that by making videos bashing other people who, one, it's their job to create content, like that's what they're doing to get out of it. Yeah, it sucks, they're part of the system, the cycle continues, but like at least they're doing something. And then you too, by making those videos bashing them and talking and reacting to them, you're now profiting off of their videos. So it's like, yeah, you're doing something. Okay, but what about the viewer who isn't also a YouTuber, who isn't also a content creator? They're not making videos profiting off of the overconsumption the way that you are. Like, yeah, you're not promoting it, so there's that, but you're still making the video, you're still profiting off of overconsumption and all of these products. Like, you may not have the links in your description, but I can still see the brand name, I can still see the product. If someone really wanted to, there's nothing stopping them from going and buying the product. The only thing that's going to stop them is themselves. And that's what's lacking from this conversation, is that you are in control of where your money goes. You are in control of that. So if your expenses are out of reach, you can't afford rent, you can't afford groceries, you can't afford your car note, and on top of that, you're spending like a millionaire buying stuff that you saw on TikTok because the ad read was really convincing, that's bullshit. That is total bullshit. Like, you have control of where your money goes. So it doesn't make any sense to me for people to say that they're watching TikToks that are constantly selling to them and influencing them to spend money. It's like, okay, then don't be influenced. Delete TikTok, delete your account, delete the app, turn off your phone. If it's that difficult for you to not spend money, what are you going to do to combat that? If you know you have a shopping problem, why are you on TikTok all day watching TikTok shop videos? Like, it doesn't make sense. So that's my little rant. I could keep going on forever. I don't want this to become a circular thing where I'm just going back and forth. But it blows my mind that people are making these videos and there's no conversation about the personal responsibility of the people spending this money. Like, influencers are able to get these insane brand deals because of the people who are buying the products. So if you stop buying the products, these influencers will stop getting the brand deals because they're not converting the way that they used to. So if you don't want to support them, don't support them. But if you're going to make videos on them talking about how they're profiting off of their audience, well, so are you. You're profiting off of your audience and their audience because you're still reacting to their video, reacting to their products. So I am going to make another video. Like I said, I was working on another video about just personal finance and some stuff that I'm personally doing to try to change my situation, because I get it. Everyone is struggling. Everyone is going through something. Like, literally, I get it. I'm not like a millionaire saying, oh, just make more money, just work harder. No, like I understand that it's not that easy. But when you sit down and really look at your situation and think about like what you can do, what are you actually doing to change your situation? What are you actually going to do? Because it's not enough to just sit there and cry about it and whine about it and bitch about it and get up on the internet and point fingers at everybody else instead of taking responsibility and realizing that maybe you're just spending too much. Like, yes, you can't stop paying rent, you can't stop eating, you can't stop driving to work, but why are you spending all of your free time on TikTok shopping, and then you're gonna blame the TikToker for making the video that got you to spend when you didn't have to watch the video? I'm sorry, I got a little heated. Like, I'm just so passionate about this kind of thing because I do understand how important money is. It's important to me, and I love personal finance. I love going into discussions about money and like just looking in. I love knowing where my money's going. So again, that's why I'm like so on this stuff, because for me, I take responsibility for my actions. Like if I'm going to go on a $500 shopping spree, like my last video, literally my last video, I spent over $700 buying Lululemon sweatshirts, because that is something that I prioritize. Like I don't shop a lot, but when I do shop, I love having a good quality hoodie, a good quality sweatpants. Like I love a matching set. So I'm willing to spend more money on those types of items because that's what I prioritize. I literally made that video to review these sweaters. Like, is it worth the price? Is it worth $118 for a hoodie? Spoiler if you haven't watched that video, not really. But like, it's not like I kept all of those things. I returned half of those things. So out of the $700 I spent, I ended up getting, I think it was $420 back. So literally half of that went back to the store. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, I'm broke. I can't afford to move out on my own. It's YouTube's fault for showing me, Lululemon, and I wanted to buy it, so I went and bought it, and now I have no money. Like, no, it was my choice to spend $700. I received my goods. I tried them on. I was honest with myself about, am I actually going to wear this? Do I actually need this? I really want this one, so I'm going to keep this one because I know I'm going to wear it. But these other ones, I don't really want that much. I don't really need them, and the price doesn't justify me keeping them anyway, so I return them. Like, that is how you take personal responsibility for your finances. And I don't see anyone doing that. Everyone's just blaming everyone. Like, if I really wanted to, I could go back to that video where I first saw the scuba hoodie, and I could comment on that girl's video and be like, oh, this hoodie was so cute, and I looked it up and I saw Lululemon and I bought it, and now I can't afford to pay off my phone bill, and it's your fault. Like, that's ridiculous. You see how crazy that sounds? But everyone gets on here and they start making videos doing essentially that. Like, you're not personally attacking the person, but when you have their videos on your channel and their face is in your thumbnail and you're reacting to them and saying how awful it is that they're getting people to waste their money, that's essentially what you're doing. And I'm not for it. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Please comment down below your thoughts. Please keep it respectful, because I know this might be a little bit of a hot take. People do not like to be called out. But also, like, again, I'm calling myself out too, because like I said, I literally just spent $700 at Lululemon, and had I not returned those things, then I would be in the same position as everybody else with my finances not being where they need to be. Like, can I really afford $700 worth of stuff? In the grand scheme, I mean, yes, because I bought it and it didn't kill me. Like, I have the money to buy it and I could buy it again. But in terms of like where I see my life going and what I'm actively pursuing right now, like my goals and my ambitions for right now, no, I shouldn't have spent that much money. Like, I technically can't afford it because it's not in alignment with my overarching goals of becoming financially stable and financially independent. So yeah, you could spend money here and there, like, still live your life. You don't have to live under a rock and not spend a single dollar. You can still buy things that you can enjoy. You can still get iced coffee and buy a Stanley and go to the store. You can still do those things, but don't overspend, become an over-consumer, an over-consumption person, and then point fingers that the videos tricked you, that the marketing tricked you. Like, that was your choice. Anyway, I'm going in circles. I will talk to you guys later. Bye!